Hello students, today we are going to learn about computers in general, Unit 1, Introduction to Computers. Computers is a part of our life. It has become indispensable that we have to use computers, and without that we cannot live our life. We cannot even imagine how life will go on without computers. They are in each and every field of our life. It is an electronic device which is capable of receiving information in a particular form and performing a sequence of operations in accordance with predetermined but a variable set of procedural instructions to produce a set result in the form of information or signals. When we look into the history of computers, it's very old. Probably in 1801, Joseph Marie Jacquard belongs to France. He has invented a loom that uses the punched wooden cards to automatically weave fabric designs, and that's the beginning of computers. In 1882, English mathematician Charles Babbage conceived stream-driven calculating machine which computes tables of numbers. This project is failed. No doubt we call him as the father of computers. In 1890, Herman, founder of IBM, designed a punch card system to calculate the 1880s census and saved $5 million. That's one more landmark in the field of computers. From 1890 to 1936, lot of changes happened in computers field. 1936, Alan Turing invented tuning machine capable of computing anything that is computable. The central concept of the modern computer was based on his ideas. In 1930 to 1947, they have built more advanced stages of computers. They have designed various versions of preliminary computers based on ENIAC, which we call them as electronic numerical integrated calculators, universal automatic computer systems. Then Bell Laboratories invented the transistors which replaced the vacuum tubes. Then went on to international business machines, that is IBM. They started inventing IBM 700 series and IBM 650 series. Then MS-DOS, which is born in 1981, then which has introduced our Microsoft Office, etc. Apple gave a portable PCs with iconic driven user interfaces. Then in 1990 till today, we are using computers which are connected to the internet. More number of application programs are placed, more games, movies, watching, listening songs, etc., etc., and mobile commerce to e-commerce. Lot of things are in place. Let's see what are the different generations of computers that have come from 1936 onwards. The first generation of computers from 1936 to 1956 used vacuum tubes as processor and magnetic drum as storage. Machine language, that is the binary language, is used to program the computer. Punched cards were used as input-output devices to store and storage operations. High power consumption and generates very high heat, too expensive to use, only perform straightforward mathematical calculations, occupied very large space, and they were very slow because of that. Then we can have the examples of first generation computers. We can call them as ENIAC, UNI, VAC, DAVSC, etc. Second generation computers operated using semiconductors as device, means almost replaced vacuum tubes, then transistors as processors. Magnetic core is used as primary, and magnetic tape and magnetic drum are used as secondary memory. IBM 650 and IBM 700 used these things. Second generation computers were consuming low power consumption, normal heat generation, and performed mathematical scientific calculations. That's where the advancement was. Previous one consumed lot of heat, consumed lot of space, but now here it is low power consumption and normal heat generation, and they performed not only mathematical functions but also scientific calculations also. They occupied less space, and the speed is microseconds. third generation computers operated semiconductors with quartz devices. IBM 360 and IBM 370 are the examples. Honeywell 200 and PDP 8, PDP 11 are the examples of third generation computers. This used RAM, ROM as primary memory and the magnetic disks used as secondary memory. High level languages like Fortran, BASIC, Pascal are all used in the third generation computers. Then we had the keyboard, monitors, all those things, the input and output devices started coming into the picture. They are more reliable, more accurate, efficient, and more battery power consumption was given. Very low heat generation was used by the third generation computers. They were low, performed mathematical, scientific, business and space operations also. Occupied very less space, half of the table, and the speed is like nanoseconds. When we see it is second generation computers, it is microseconds. Now the third generation computers used nanoseconds as the speed. Then the fourth generation computer, more advancement, more in technology. So they used VLSI and microprocessors, integrated circuits as the processor, and RAM, ROM, cache as the primary memory, and magnetic disk, that is hard disk, optical magnetic disk, and CDs, DVDs or flash memories, pen drives, etc., Blu-ray disc, very big storage capacity started coming in. The high level languages like C, C++, Java, emails, mobile communication all became part of fourth generation computers. When we look into the examples of fourth generation computers, PCs, desktops, Macs, notebooks, laptops, mobile, internet, all these things became the examples of fourth generation computers. They used keyboard, LCDs, monitors, mouse, laser, inkjet printers, laser printers, line printers, all became part of fourth generation computers. Multi-programming, multitasking, more reliable and more exact accuracy, efficiency improved to a large extent. They were very low expensive, performed almost all types of operations and occupied very less space, and the speed has increased to nanoseconds. We have the fifth generation computers from 2010 onwards, we can call. Technology has increased immensely. Technology is used as VLSI, then biochip, multi-core parallel computer structures, parallel programming, huge memory size, cache memory, and magnetic disk with TBs. The hard disk, optical disk, flash memory, then Blu-ray discs, artificial intelligence, natural language processing, Java, EJB, PHP, NLP, all these things became part of softwares that are being used in the fifth generation computers. Keyboard, SVGA, LCDs, LEDs, HD LEDs, touch screens, smart monitors, optical mouse, lasers and inkjet printers, more and more input and output devices. More reliable, more accurate, more efficient. The fifth generation computers has taken place completely, has overtaken all the previous generation computers. Very low power consumption, no heat generation absolutely. Not so expensive, perform all types of operations and portable to carry anywhere. Occupied very less space, and the speed is fraction of a nanoseconds. The super examples are the supercomputers, parallel computers, robots, iPods, tablets, smart mobiles, etc. Let's see the classification of computers. Computers are classified as follows: according to their functionality, according to their capability, according to their purpose. When we talk about according to the functionality, we have the digital computers, analog computers, and hybrid computers. Digital computers always used only the digital signals. All the data is stored and processed in terms of bits. Examples of the digital computers are all the desktops, laptops, tablets, mobiles are known as digital computers. Then we have analog computers. These work using the continuous signal denoted by a sine wave. The high and low waves presents the amplitude values, and the length of the wave represents the time. Basically, these are the measuring devices which are used to measure the electric current, speed, weight, breathing, pulse rate, etc. Examples are ventilators, pressure gauge, electric meters, gas meters, thermometers, speedometers in vehicles. Hybrid computers, they used both digital and analog computers. So, these we find them as the modern converters and analog to digital, etc., and vice versa. According to capability, we have several computers which are working according to capability. The desktops, microcomputers or mobile computers, then wearable gadgets, mini computers or workstations, mainframes, servers, supercomputers and embedded systems. Let's see each one of them now. Desktops, as we all know, desktops has input output devices, secondary and auxiliary storage devices are separately connected. Single board computers, which we call them as SBC, all these ports integrated on one board, input output storage devices, then auxiliary devices are connected through the USB ports. Single unit systems, all in one PCs, in which CPU and the monitor are integrated as one unit. Nettops, mini single unit system with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Then thin clients, monitors without processors which will connect to servers using the remote desktop protocol. Microcomputers and mobile computers. Of course, we know they are laptops which we can take them to anywhere, and they are mobile PCs which operates on batteries, ultrabooks, notebooks, Chromebook, tablet, smartphone and personal digital assistants. All these has advanced softwares and they start working on the network and the electronic communications. Okay, wearable gadgets, smart watches. Watches come with sensors, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth to connect and control smartphones and other devices in office and home. Example, Apple Watch, Samsung Gear, etc. Head mounted devices, these are also known as heads-up display, which are worn or attached to the head or and uses a transparent glass display that interfaces with the human eye. It does not interface with the user's sight. Smartwear, smart shoes and smart clothes are intended for health related functions like measuring heart rate and wavefront measurement for active life wearer. We have mini computers or workstations. Computers which medium sized or mid range of features and mini versions of mainframes are called mini computers. These are used as Micro, VAX 2, Texas Instrument 2, etc. Then comes the mainframes. IBM used the mainframes. These are very large machines with low processing capability but huge number of users to be connected currently via terminals, PC and vast storage capability like gigabytes of RAM and terabytes of magnetic tapes and disks. These are used as powerful file servers and cloud servers with excellent resilience. These machines run with ZOS operating system. Servers, large machines which are designed to provide services, functionality and resources to client machines in the client server network model. These are having capability to hot swap the storage and expensive hardware in the time frame of 24/7. Supercomputers. China, America and all use supercomputers. The large computer which contains powerful multiple core processors in one machine, and it is the most powerful and with speed and accuracy. Supercomputers is the fastest, trillions of instructions per second is processed. Of all above computers, millions of instructions per second so far discussed. The speed of the supercomputers is measured in PFLOPS, petafloating point operations per second. The power of supercomputers nowadays are using essentially in predicting the natural calamities like cyclones, lavas, earthquakes, tsunamis, and in the fields of defense, space, satellite launching, remote sensing, science and research and robotics. Embedded system, the system which combines microprocessor, software with some electronics or electrical or mechanical hardware to perform specific function within the time and other resource constraints. The firmware in these systems is programmed into EPROM or flash memory. Examples are set-top boxes, anti-lock braking systems, DVD players, ATMs, digital cameras, drones, thermostats, printers, internet dongles, etc. The examples of embedded systems are manufacturing equipment, we have domestic appliances, audiovisual equipment, gaming consoles, telecommunications equipment, medical devices, cars and vehicles, and motion sensors. According to the purpose, we have computers are classified into two categories. They are general purpose computers and special purpose computers. General purpose computers in which software and hardware are portable and adaptable to any environment is called general purpose computers. These are used in all the fields like science, research, medical, linguistics, applications development, business, administration, etc. Special purpose computers, computers in which the architecture is oriented towards one or more specific operations. The scope and area of application in which we use these special purpose computers is very narrow. Examples of special purpose computers are process control computers in industry, ECG machines, air traffic controllers, domain specific robots, digital blood sugar and blood measuring instruments, etc. After learning about what are the types of computers, let's see what are the components of computers that has, so that computers can be used in our daily life. Computers components are hardware and software. Hardware, when we look into, it is all the physical components, physical elements that are connected to the computers. To define them, the computer hardware is a collection of physical parts or external parts which are called as the computer peripherals or computer system. The computer hardware refers to the physical elements of the computer system. These are called as machinery or equipment of the computer. To give the examples of hardware, cabinet case, motherboard or monitor, keyboard, mouse, processor, RAM chip, sound card, VGA port, serial port, parallel port, Ethernet, etc., etc. Coming to the software, without which it's like a heart of the computer which runs. The software is the general term for the various kinds of programs, applications, utilities used to operate the hardware and the hardware components to function in a proper manner. Examples of software, that is your operating systems, Microsoft Office, Windows 10, Linux, Android, Internet Explorer, Facebook, WhatsApp, Gmail, HTML, the list is unlimited. Let's look into the limitations of computers. Computers has done this and that. Actually, this is not the computer which has done this or that, but it is the user. We have improved computers and made them indispensable of our life with improving the technology, with more and more features, more and more applications, more and more usage. Despite its various features and applications, computer does have the following limitations. Computer has no feelings. Computer has no common sense. It never gets tired if you use it for unlimited time for different purposes or different uses. At the same time, it cannot feel the emotions of a human being. It will not give you any suggestions if you are asking for any suggestions, or it does not give you anything personal to the life. Computer cannot implement because computer works on the instructions that are being given by the instructor or the user. So it cannot implement, it cannot think about itself or give you some new things to add to it. A computer is unable to perform anything for itself. That means you can keep a lot of data or information among the storage of the computer, but it cannot read or use it without the help of the user. Actually, it has no capacity to implement the ideas or using the resources. So it's important for the user to know where to use it, how to use it, and what to use it. Computer has no learning power. It has no learning power. Once you give instructions to the computer how to perform a task, the very task cannot be performed if you do not give it any instructions the next time. That means it cannot work by itself. It does not learn by itself, or it cannot act by itself. For example, when you are taught how to solve a particular problem, if some type of problem is given, same type of problem is given for you to solve, you know how to use it and how to modify it and work on it. Whereas the computer cannot understand these things, and it will work in the way the instructions have been given. It does not modify or think by itself. Computers cannot expertise anything itself. Man can do research, or we can make the new rule for human being, but the computer cannot do it. It cannot make anything for the human beings or for own itself. It cannot modify the tasks that are being given. No decision making power. Computers cannot make any decisions on its own. It does only those tasks which are already instructed to it. No self intelligence. Today, a computer is able to do a work which is impossible for man. Computers are used to do literally any risky tasks, dangerous tasks, whereas we cannot, as a human being, we cannot do it. Overall, when we see what are computers and the limitations of computers, it is man who has to use it in the right way, in the proper manner, in right approachable way. Thank you.